everybody, and welcome back to NeuroSciQ. In lieu of Canada Day, we are going to be talking about a Canadian hero that is near and dear to our hearts here at the Diamandis Lab. And that hero goes by the name Terry Fox. Terry Fox was such an inspiration to cancer research. He was a young Canadian that got diagnosed with cancer at the age of 18, but he didn't let that bring him down. He actually started his own fundraiser and was running on a prosthetic leg, made it through 6 provinces, all in the name of raising money for cancer research. And this summer, here at the Diamandis Lab, we are going to be running to raise money for the cause as part of Terry's Marathon of Hope. If you would like to donate, please go to the link in the description. Now, besides all that, in honor of Terry Fox, today's video is dedicated to him, and we'd like to just give a brief synopsis of Terry and his story. So sit tight and stay tuned. Let's roll the intro. Terry Fox is an inspiration to Canadians and people all throughout the world. Every year when I was young, I remember in school, around the beginning of the year, we would learn about Terry Fox and we would all run as a school to support his cause. He sparked a movement long before social media, which when you think about the following that he gained from the start, it's quite amazing. Now, Terry was born July 28, 1958 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, but he was raised in British Columbia. He was a very athletic, determined young boy, and people all around him that have left stories about him all leave glowing remarks about his personality and how one thing he never did was give up. Now, a lot of his personality has to do with his upbringing. He was very well disciplined, and by the age of 9, he actually had a seasonal job picking berries with his siblings to make his own money. And then by the time he was 12, he was actually paying for his own clothes, and he bought himself a bike with the money he made so that he can get to school. Now, something Terry really loved was actually basketball, and a lot of people don't know this because we talk so much about his running. But Terry's sport was basketball, and he didn't start off too great. When he began playing in high school, he was actually ranked the worst player on the team. His coach recommended that he take up cross country, and he wasn't really into running, but he respected his coach so much that he gave it a try. And one thing that he said he would recall as a high school runner is the way he felt when he would come back from a run and his coach would praise them and say, "Good work, men," even though they were just boys. Something that stuck with Terry his whole life were wise words from his coach, McGill. And his coach actually said to him, "If you want something, you work for it, because I'm not interested in mediocrity." And Terry did work for it. He worked so hard that eventually he was on the starting lineup for the high school basketball team. And by the time he got to university, he had won the athletic award twice in high school, once in grade 10 and then again in grade 12. And then in university, he went to Simon Fraser University, and he was on their varsity basketball team. In fact, the coach at the basketball training camp said there were more talented players who didn't make it, but Terry just outgutted them. People tend to look in awe at players who have a lot of natural ability, but respect from other athletes goes to the guy who works really hard. And that was Terry. Terry showed time and time again throughout his life that he would never give up, be it with school or with sports.
I'm stubborn and competitive, and I don't know, I really enjoy life. I enjoy challenges.
Now, unfortunately, when he was 18, he noticed that his knee was really hurting. And at first, he thought maybe he was injured from basketball, but then he realized that it wasn't going away, and so it wasn't just a tendon pain. So he went to the doctor to get it checked out, and that's when he got his diagnosis. On March 9th, in 1977, Terry Fox was diagnosed with osteogenic sarcoma, bone cancer. He had the cancer in his right leg and he had to get it amputated immediately 6 inches above the knee. Now, at the time, the doctor said he was lucky because his chances looked good, but if he had had that diagnosis 2 years earlier, they told him he would have only had a 15% chance. So what sparked Terry's idea to run across Canada to raise money for cancer? The night before he had his leg amputated, Terry's university basketball coach came to visit him in the hospital and brought him an article about an amputee who actually ran the Boston Marathon. That article helped spark Terry's idea that he could keep running and stay athletic even when he had his leg amputated. But what really pushed him to raise money for cancer was the children in the hospital.
Kids my age and younger. And you just can't leave something like that and try and forget it. And I couldn't anyway. I had to try and do something about it.
I'm crying now because there's somebody here right now who is going through the same thing that I went through. Exact same thing, and he's only 10 years old. And I had the most inspirational day of my life today.
So he decided, since he had the opportunity, he was going to raise money for them by running across Canada.
I got a lot of positive attitude, and I think I can do it.
He calls his running style the Foxtrot. After 25 days in Newfoundland, Terry had raised $25,000.
Now, if you think of it, he never really let the cancer get to him. He kept a positive mindset all the way through, and that takes a tough character to receive a diagnosis and then decide you're not going to let it bring you down. In fact, you're going to let it make you stronger.
If I don't make it, nobody would make it. Maybe I won't make it, but if it's up to me, I think I can do it.
After his amputation, Terry had 18 months to prepare for his run across Canada, and in that time he ran about 5,000 kilometers to prepare.
And I decided after my year and a half of chemotherapy that I'd try and run across Canada and raise as much money as I could.
Then he began his run in the west coast of Canada in Newfoundland.
This afternoon in St. John's, Newfoundland, a young man named Terry Fox started running.
Many people have run or walked across Canada, but Fox hopes to be the first to do it with an artificial leg.
Terry actually made it through 6 provinces, and he ran around 3,339 miles, averaging about a marathon a day. To put that into perspective, a marathon is 42 kilometers. Now, Terry Fox did this every day for 143 days. He not only raised money, but he raised spirits, and he changed people's opinions on disabled people by showing them that he too could function. In fact, he was doing things that able-bodied people weren't even achieving.
When running through a town of 10,000 people, he raised $10,000. $1 for every person.
That song was commissioned by the Cancer Society, which had its own doubts when he started off. Now, as he pounds out the kilometers, the money pours in, most of it in cash.
He's got all the guts in the world. And I wish him all the luck in the world, too. And I hope he makes it.
What do you think of Terry Fox?
I think he's great.
He'll make it. He'll make it.
The run to City Hall, down University Avenue, took Terry by hundreds of people. It was an emotional moment for many of them.
I knew I was going to make 20 miles. When people are out there like that, it was incredible today.
We've seen him surrounded by crowds of supporters, but the crowds go home. Terry keeps running.
He ran through rain, snow, ice, the summer's heat. People were calling him a hero, but he never once accepted that title. 18 miles from Thunder Bay in Ontario was when tragedy struck. That morning, Terry was coughing and he had a dull, blunt pain. The coughing subsided throughout the run, and the police cruiser that was escorting him kept cheering him on and telling him that he could do it. The people on the sidelines were motivating him too, so he kept going for them.
When I'm running each day, I take one day at a time. When I'm running, I take 1 mile at a time, and I take 1 corner at a time. Every signpost, I'm looking at it and reaching out for that signpost. Every corner, I'm reaching out, and this is the type of thing I'm thinking of when I'm running. You know, sometimes I have to run in a lot of pain, and I get pretty tired. But I don't feel any pain when I get support like this, so you're fabulous, and I'd just like to thank you for that.
That's when he said, somewhere the hurting must stop. he was determined to take himself to the limit for those causes. Now, unfortunately, during his running, Terry was neglecting his cancer appointments, and he didn't believe that it would come back. But the cancer spread to his lungs. It was really heartbreaking, that moment when Terry revealed that it had spread. He said, well, you know, I had primary cancer in my knee 3.5 years ago, and now the cancer is in my lungs, and I have to go home. And I have to do some more x-rays, or maybe an operation that will involve opening up my chest or more drugs. I'll do everything I can. I'm gonna do my very best. I'll fight. I promise I won't give up.
Story of incredible courage came to an end today. At a news conference.
Yesterday I was running, and I had noticed a little bit of hardness in breathing, and I decided I had to go see a doctor. And it was discovered then that the cancer had spread. Now I've got cancer in my lungs. And if it comes to the point where I'm told I'm going to die of cancer, I haven't got a chance. I've got to be able to face that.
Now, Terry Fox was just a year older than me. He was 22 years old when he had ran through 6 provinces after being diagnosed with cancer and having his leg amputated 6 inches above his knee. He never once saw it as unfair. On June 28, 1981, Terry unfortunately passed away.
Terry Fox died this morning in a British Columbia hospital, 1 month before his 23rd birthday.
But his legacy lives on in 30 countries today. 3 million kids this year will be running for Terry as part of school initiatives, and so far he's raised $800 million for cancer research. This is the 40th Marathon of Hope, and we're asking you to help support us. For cancer research all around the world, go ahead and make a donation if you can at the link in our bio. Have no fear, the efforts of Terry did not go unrecognized. On September 18th, he was the youngest companion of the Order of Canada.
This was a big day for the handsome young man. His grandmother was in from Manitoba, his aunt and uncle from Alberta. The whole family wanted to witness the occasion. Fox was more than halfway across Canada in his Marathon of Hope before cancer forced a halt to the run. This afternoon, he became the youngest person to ever receive the Companion of the Order of Canada.
And when I ran across Canada, attempted to, the attitude I had in doing my very best was something I've always done. And to me, it wasn't a special thing. And it was special because I knew the effort I was putting in. But that's why it was hard for me to understand how I could be a hero. And but I think it is a great honor. I've heard a lot about how I've had a part in maybe helping unite the country. Each province, that really makes me feel good. It was something, I dreamt of a lot of things on my run, but now it's something I never expected. So I think it puts an added bonus on the whole thing.
Canadian sports editors voted Terry Fox the Lou Marsh Award for Outstanding Athletic Accomplishment. On December 23rd, 1980, Terry was voted Canadian of the Year. The Simon Fraser University actually made their own medal for him called the Terry Fox Gold Medal, and each year it is awarded to a student that shows courage in the face of adversity. Now there's been highways named after him, schools named after him, and even a mountain named after him. But at the end of the day, I don't think Terry wanted the recognition. I think he just wanted us to come together and help raise money for cancer research. As he said time and time again, if every Canadian donated $1 back in that day, they would have raised $20 million. So, go ahead, donate $1 if you can. We would really appreciate it. Let's try to get that 800 million up to 1 billion. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time as we return to more neuroscience videos. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to support the initiative.